What happens when you take a small-town farm boy and inject him with the raw athleticism of a superhuman? You get Brock Lesnar, a man whose name strikes fear and awe in equal measure across two of the toughest arenas in sports: professional wrestling and mixed martial arts. Lesnar doesn't just enter a room, he dominates it. From the roaring crowds of the WWE to the brutal reality of the UFC, Brock has made his presence felt like a seismic event. He's a man of contradictions, a ferocious competitor who seeks solitude, a larger-than-life superstar who craves the quiet life, and a beast who's mastered the art of reinvention. How does one man excel in two completely different worlds? Simple. Brock Lesnar rewrote the rules of what it means to be an athlete. Let's unravel the incredible saga of Brock Lesnar, a force of nature who transcended the boundaries of sports and entertainment. Early life, roots of a warrior. Born on July 12, 1977, in Webster, South Dakota, Brock Edward Lesnar was destined for greatness, though it didn't always seem that way. Growing up on a dairy farm, Lesnar's early days were filled with long hours of hard labor. For Brock, strength wasn't just a gym achievement, it was a necessity. Carrying buckets of milk and wrangling livestock were his first lessons in toughness. But this wasn't just any kid working on the farm. By the time Brock was in high school, his immense size and strength were impossible to ignore. He began wrestling at Webster High School, quickly becoming the dominant force in his weight class. Picture this, a teenage Lesnar stepping onto the mat, his opponents already defeated in their minds just by looking at him. It wasn't wrestling, it was survival. After high school, Brock attended Bismarck State College, where he became a junior college wrestling champion. He then transferred to the University of Minnesota, a powerhouse in collegiate wrestling. Here, he wasn't just another athlete. He was the athlete. Lesnar's crowning achievement came in 2000 when he won the NCAA Division Heavyweight Wrestling Championship. With a record of 106 wins and 5 losses in his collegiate career, Brock proved he was not just strong, but also highly skilled. It's one thing to be big, it's another to back it up with sheer talent. Brock Lesnar had both in spades. The WWE era, dominance in the spotlight. In 2000, the WWE came knocking, and Brock Lesnar answered with a vengeance. Signed to a developmental deal, Lesnar trained at Ohio Valley Wrestling, where he honed his craft alongside future legends like John Cena, Randy Orton, and Batista. Even among this elite group, Lesnar stood out. Why? Because he wasn't just a wrestler, he was a spectacle. When he debuted on WWE's main roster in 2002, Lesnar was marketed as the next big thing, and it wasn't just hype. Within 5 months, he won the King of the Ring tournament, earning a shot at the WWE Undisputed Championship. At SummerSlam that year, Lesnar defeated The Rock to become the youngest WWE champion in history. Imagine being 25 years old and already at the pinnacle of professional wrestling. For Brock, this wasn't a destination. It was a stepping stone. Lesnar's WWE career was filled with unforgettable moments. His rivalries with Kurt Angle, The Undertaker, and John Cena produced some of the most iconic matches in wrestling history. His finishing move, the F5, wasn't just a move. It was a declaration of dominance. When Brock Lesnar hit the F5, the match was over. Period. However, the grueling WWE schedule and his growing dissatisfaction with life on the road led Lesnar to leave the company in 2004. Walking away from the WWE at the height of your fame. Bold. But Brock Lesnar has never been one to follow conventional paths. The NFL experiment, chasing a new dream. After leaving WWE, Lesnar turned to an entirely new challenge, the NFL. Despite not playing football since high school, Brock joined the Minnesota Vikings training camp in 2004. Most athletes would shy away from such a daunting leap, but Brock Lesnar doesn't do safe. He does audacious. While his NFL journey was short-lived, Lesnar's performance in training camp turned heads. He was eventually cut from the team, but his willingness to step into unfamiliar territory only added to his legend. For Brock, failure wasn't the end. It was fuel for his next endeavor, the UFC era, a beast unleashed. Lesnar's next chapter came in 2007 when he signed with the UFC. Many doubted whether a pro wrestler could succeed in the world of MMA, but Lesnar relished the challenge. Critics said he was all hype. Brock's response: "Watch me." In his second UFC fight, Lesnar faced Randy Couture, a UFC legend for the Heavyweight Championship. Despite being the underdog, Brock won in decisive fashion, proving he belonged in the octagon. Becoming UFC Heavyweight Champion in just his fourth fight wasn't just impressive, it was unprecedented. Lesnar's reign in the UFC included memorable bouts against Shane Carwin and Frank Mir. His victory over Carwin at UFC 116, where he weathered a brutal first round to win by submission, showcased his heart and resilience. Brock wasn't just a powerhouse. He was a fighter, through and through. The WWE comeback, a legend returns. In 2012, Brock Lesnar returned to WWE, and he wasn't the same man who had left 8 years earlier. This was a battle-hardened UFC champion, and his new persona reflected that. The Beast Incarnate wasn't just a nickname. It was a warning to anyone who stepped into the ring with him. Lesnar's second WWE run was defined by blockbuster matches and jaw-dropping moments. His victory over The Undertaker at WrestleMania 30 ended the legendary 21-0 streak, a feat that shocked the wrestling world. Breaking. The streak wasn't just a win, it was a seismic shift in WWE history. Your personal life. Beyond the spotlight. Away from the chaos of the ring and octagon, Brock Lesnar leads a surprisingly quiet life. He's married to former WWE superstar Sable, and together they have 2 sons. Family is Brock's anchor, a stark contrast to his larger-than-life persona in the public eye. Lesnar spends much of his time on his sprawling farm in Saskatchewan, Canada, where he hunts, farms, and enjoys the solitude. For a man who's faced roaring crowds and brutal fights, there's peace in the simplicity of rural life. Legacy, the ultimate game changer. Brock Lesnar's career is a testament to his unmatched versatility and dominance. Whether it's scripted drama or unscripted combat, Lesnar has consistently defied expectations. He's not just an athlete, he's a phenomenon, a trailblazer who redefined what it means to be the best. From the dairy farms of South Dakota to the biggest stages in sports, Brock Lesnar's journey is nothing short of extraordinary. He's the epitome of power, discipline, and sheer willpower, a true icon in every sense of the word. What makes Brock Lesnar a legend? It's his unrelenting drive, his willingness to embrace the unknown, and his ability to conquer any challenge. Brock Lesnar doesn't just leave a legacy, he leaves an impact that echoes through history.